Start recording. Okay, because I think that's the problem. Stupid ass shit. Stupid ass Facebook. All right, here we go. All right. Here we go.
All right.
Check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another installment, take 2 of the Quarter After 5 podcast. My name is George White, and I haven't been looking at the camera this entire time because I'm trying to see if this thing is going to crash again. It freaking sucks. It's a special edition of the 99 time capsule of the Quarter After 5 podcast. My name is George White, and today we got a special guest coming at us all the way from the 80s, from the late 80s babies. She is an old friend, good friend. She's living in El Paso. We just recently reconnected, and she's agreed to bare her soul. She's agreed to spill all the secrets, everything she's been up to. I keep looking at the stream because I'm just waiting for this thing to crash. It's pissing me off, but it's flickering again. Oh, please don't crash. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Margarita Mendez. What's up, girl? What's up?
Hello. How are you?
I'm all right. I know we just started talking about 10 minutes ago, and then it crashed on us the first time. It looks like it's pretty healthy. Everything looks good. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm not going to look at it anymore. I'm looking at the camera like I'm looking at you, but I know you can't see me, so that kind of sucks.
That's all right. It's like talking to my
kids. Okay. And by kids, you mean your students?
My students. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So what is that like? What have you been up to teaching with the students?
Yeah, so this is my 17th year teaching. I've been at the high school level for the last 15 years, and I did my 2 years of penance at the middle school level. My first 2 years of teaching. So right after high school, went straight to UTEP as a music major, even though people told me not to. And did my undergrad there with some amazing professors and some amazing colleagues, and then went right into teaching. So I started teaching in 2004 at the middle school level, and that was my first gig for those 2 years, and then moved on to the high school. And the cool thing about that was I transitioned with my students, because a lot of those middle school students ended up being my high school students. And that was kind of one of the things why I became a teacher, and more specifically an orchestra teacher, was because of my middle school and high school, Miss Hernandez, that we had at Terrace Hills and at Andrus.
Oh, dang, yeah.
Yeah, so she was the reason. And I didn't know this, but apparently I wrote a letter in 6th grade, I think, with Miss Byer, about why I wanted to be a teacher and why Miss Hernandez had inspired me to be a teacher. And she actually gave her that letter later on. I had no idea until I started teaching, and she told me about it, that she still had that letter that I had written. I was like, oh, well, it's still true. So she's still teaching she's the orchestra director at Coronado now. And she helped me survive my first year because I had no clue what I was getting myself into. So she really bailed me out. And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Currently have about 85, 90 kids. We just graduated. My biggest graduating class was last year. I had 22 seniors, and those kids are my kids. I always tell them, and they always ask me, how do you have kids, Ms. Mendez? I'm like, because of y'all. But that's the cool part, is I get to send them home at the end of the day. So love to make music with them, put on some really cool concerts, and get to see them grow, because a lot of these kids will stay with me for their entire 4 years of high school, and that's not something that a lot of kids do. And I get the kids that want to be there. That's the exciting part.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so I also was teaching 5th grade. I did 5th grade. This is the first year I'm not teaching 5th grade, actually. And so I always liked that level, because it was like the light bulb moments when they would finally figure out how to, so that's how it works, or like, so that's what it's supposed to sound like. So that was really fun. And I've gotten to graduate some of those 5th graders in the last few years. So kind of like getting to see them grow, from the elementary into the middle, and then graduating with me at the high school has been the fun part. But yeah, orchestra's been my life pretty much. And we recently started a mariachi group at the high school. In 2016, we established our mariachi program there. So they keep us busy for sure. But that's pretty much it. Music, all the music.
Just all music all the time. That's awesome. Orc Dork.
Orc Dork for life. Orc Dork for life. Indeed.
17
So,
years. So what is that like? I guess teaching as long as most seniors, like I guess juniors would be in school now
mhm.
that were born when you started teaching. How does
Actually, even before, I think this last freshman group, last year's freshman group was the first group born before after 9/11.
oh my
So that's been yeah. I actually have kiddos of people we went to high school with. They're sorry about that. I just got a call come in.
God. Oh, that's all
Did I
right.
lose you? There you are. Yeah, so like generations have come through. So as far as like kiddos who were born when I started teaching, yeah, there's been quite a few. And I
Dang.
always tell my running line with the kids, I'm like, I'm not that old. I'm not that old. You might see the gray and it gets worse as the year goes on, but I'm not that old.
Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about that, but real quick, I wanted to shout out Manuel Torres because so I said that I was gonna have it on you, and then I was gonna share everything on the timeline, right? But I messed up the keys, and I had it on me the entire time. So it's just me staring off in the distance and just like listening to your story. And then he's like, "Dude, she disappeared," and I was like, "Oh my god, what the hell?" And
I'm
then so
here.
yeah, and so I decided to share the screen. So now that we can see both
There
of
we go.
us. So now you can
No
see
worries.
me, right? You can see me in the
Yes,
thing.
I can see you now. Yes, totally.
Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. So, okay, so I wanted to talk to you about growing. I don't want to say growing old because that sounds fucked up. But
Wiser.
wiser. Okay, becoming wiser in El
Mhm.
Paso. What has that been like? Because you were born and raised, right?
Yes, born in El Paso. I did spend like the first 5 years with my grandma in Juarez. I'm the youngest of five, so all my brothers and sisters were in school, and my mom was going to school. My dad was working, so I stayed with my grandma till I started school, and been there since then. So definitely have grown. El Paso is our, small town mentality a little bit, big city with a small town mentality.
Still, huh?
Um, Pretty much. We still don't have a Target in the Northeast, and I'm still in the Northeast actually.
Oh, dang.
So yes, not too far from Dowell actually. And the kids always give me a hard time because I teach at Chapin, and so that's like the big rival. And it used to be Irvin and Andress. That
Hmm.
was the big rivalry, and now it's Andress and Chapin. So anytime we have like that big game, I always take my Letterman jacket, and the kids always threaten to like, oh, we're gonna tear it up, Miss Mendez, and yeah, but it's fun. But yeah, El Paso's growing and still staying small, if that even makes sense.
Well, it's weird too because like I visit a lot and I've seen all the construction, especially with the loop. They finally completed the loop where you get to go under that cool little tunnel under 54, right there by
Mhm.
by Walmart on Trans Mountain. And so because I
Yep.
remember I used to live in the Trans Mountain apartments and I would have to walk to Dowell, and then there was that massive area, but now that's obviously a freeway, and so those memories are shattered. Thanks, El Paso. But but
Yeah.
so growing wiser in El Paso, do you feel like the city could use? I mean, obviously you said small town or big city, small town mentality. Do you feel like what do you think they need to grow to become bigger? Besides a Target in the Northeast, which is what
I'm
Deja said.
jealous.
Shout outs.
Hey, Deja Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't even know what it needs. I think we just need variety would be nice. Besides the Walmarts, besides the Targets, the big box stores, we have, all the shopping centers. If anything is growing, it's a shopping center, and every shopping center is going to have a Dollar Tree, a Ross. Um, what else is there? Those names, like Big Lots is all over the place. Those kinds of things. So I think if we just had some variety, it would be nice. Like a Trader Joe's would be awesome.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
If we
We
had a
got
Trader Joe's, then I think we could say, all right, El Paso, you're growing. We just got a Sprouts not too long ago
yeah.
and a Whole Foods.
Whole Foods, yeah.
Yes. But apparently that's like the worst like Whole Foods and the entire like business chain of Whole Foods because how bad like it's on the west side. So unless you drive over there consistently, like I don't go to Whole Foods.
Oh, I see. So it's the
Like
poorest
the least,
producing.
yes,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
least producing, yeah,
Yeah.
store
Yeah.
in Silicon Valley.
Grossing.
But
That's what the word
yes,
is.
there we
Jesus.
go.
Yeah. Look at two educators over here. Can't find the right word.
Can't find the word. It's been a long day.
Oh, I agree 100%. So I actually work two jobs where I teach in class in school, and then I rush over here and then I teach kids from Nevada in Las Vegas. I teach them
Oh wow,
virtually. Yeah, and then I have a quick poop break, and then sometimes I'll do an
that's
interview.
important.
Yeah, it's very important. Not just kidding. I poop in the morning. I poop in the morning. Deja says no more Dollar Trees, and it's kind of funny because like I feel like most places we need more local businesses. We need to incentivize and give tax breaks to local businesses. But then this pandemic came through and then destroyed anything and everything. It was horrible. Anyone who had any kind of foothold was just blown away. And yeah.
We have, I think we have seen a little bit of a resurgence in those local mom and pop shops. There's a lot of Facebook shops that have popped up recently where, you know, people have taken their businesses home. You know, if you can't operate, you know, within a certain square footage or can't afford the rental anymore, then, you know, you start selling out of your house and deliveries and, you know, that type of thing. We've seen that a lot. So that's kind of nice. The local restaurants, I think a lot of them are really just grasping, but pushing forward. There's a place that we go to a lot, Ruli's
Mm.
International Kitchen. That's been like our go-to. We always have Sunday fun days, and we haven't been able to do those with my nephew and my sister, my mom. We'd always go out somewhere to eat, and then just kind of cruise around. We go to open houses, or you know, we go to the big box stores and just kind of shop around. And we haven't been able to do that, but we moved Sunday Fun Days home, and so my sister will like pick up food, and you know, we'll kind of hang out here at the house type things. So you know, we're trying to do our part and you know, supporting our local businesses and helping them out. So we're
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of small businesses, Alyssa Ann Abney's in the chat, and she runs a place called Tolly's out here. Nice little bar. We do open mic comedy. So
Nice.
shout out to her, local businesses. Yeah, and I agree with what you're talking about people starting side hustles from home or moving their small businesses, adapting it to the house. Because I know Artie Swift is doing something similar. And so, I mean, I don't know, like how. I mean, I hope I didn't like get him in trouble. I hope like one of the 5 people who are watching right now don't call like some like department and get him
They're
busted.
I'm sure they have a long list because people
Yeah,
are, you know, they're doing what they have to do. It's
yeah.
a really hard time right now. So I mean, either you're gonna hustle or you're gonna fall. And I think a lot of people are choosing to hustle, which by all means, my props to them. So
Oh no, yeah,
make it
definitely. Yeah, that's the whole
mhm.
reason why I'm doing this thing because I can't get on stage and tell fart jokes about my mom,
There you
and
go.
so
Or poop.
so
Talk about
yeah,
poop.
poop jokes. Yeah, talk about poop. I'm super comfortable talking about poop. I don't mind at all. Okay, so um, you mentioned going to university, and I don't know. I was sharing the event, sharing the interview. Where did you go to university? UTEP.
I stayed there at UTEP. Yeah, I did my undergrad at UTEP, and then in 2015, I did my master's, but I did it online. So I did the program from Concordia University in Portland, Oregon. I ended up doing that online and got my master's in educational leadership. At some point, I like to be in an administrative role. But I think I'm okay right now in the classroom. Like the more I see the administration side of it, I like the classroom.
You
I
don't.
like
Yeah.
working with the
You don't,
kids.
yeah,
You know, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. I think that the
yeah.
administrative level just really takes you away from working with the kids. And honestly, I feel like a lot of us get into education because of the kids.
Mm.
And so
Mm.
the higher levels just kind of, you know, it's a lot of pushing numbers. It's a lot of, and I could be wrong. I could totally have like, you know, the wrong, you know, view or you know, whatever it is about it. But I just don't see as much connection from the administrative level to the kids, which is why I got into it to begin with. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there an echo?
Is there an echo?
not that I can hear.
Hey, people in the chat, is there an echo? Okay, it just went away. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. It's so freaking hilarious. It's so great because I love going into these interviews because I have no idea what they're gonna be like. And after doing so many, I just feel super comfortable. Like I used to get super nervous going into it, and I'm like, whatever happens will happen. But this is the first time so many technical difficulties have happened in one show, and I'm like, oh my god, what is even going on? All right, so
We
you know
have
what?
that running joke with my kiddos. So me and technology. So if it's my bad, like it's probably me. It's all right. It's okay.
Okay, well, yeah. So let's talk about that for a little bit. Teaching over the
Over.
internet. So are your EPISD with Chapin, right?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm at Chapin. Yeah.
and are they completely virtual? Or are they hybrid?
We are completely virtual right now. There's, the talks of reopening. That was actually the message we got a little while ago. We're having to call our parents, and there's a survey that they have to complete to figure out, if the kids are going to stay online, if they're going to do the hybrid model, which is only available for the high school kids right now, where they are on campus 2 days of the week and then 3 days virtual. And so half the alphabet comes on 2 days, the
Mm.
other half comes on the other 2 days. And so they alternate. Um, but it's been interesting, especially for us. I think for the music side of it, it's definitely proven to be a challenge. Um, there is no program in the world that can produce a live rehearsal. I can't, unmute the kids on Zoom and all right, everybody, let's play, because it's chaos, with all the delays and whatnot. And so it's been really hard to adjust. We finished last semester virtually, and we were able to keep the kids engaged with projects and performance based, with the virtual ensembles. All of a sudden I became tech guru, and I was able to, you know, compile all these videos of my kids playing and do audio tracks, and I had never had to do that in my life. And so that was a learning curve for us. And then just starting the year, this like I said, this is the first year that I went to fifth grade. I feel for my elementary teachers. It's just like, hang in there, guys. Just hang in there as much as you can. And with the high school kids, I think right now it's really just keeping them engaged in our classes, keeping them interested, even though we might not be playing per se, but just knowing that they have a resource. They're not just swamped with APs and classes. They're magnet classes. Just giving them somewhere where they have an outlet. So even if it's just playing a silly song, play it sitting down with your while you're sipping soda. I don't know, something fun for them to do, because in the end, we're going to end up having to rebuild a lot, probably the next year and a half. And so we want to make sure those kids come back. Like I said, these are the kids that want to be there. They choose these ensembles. So we want to make it fun for them. We want to give them a reason to come back. And so that's been the biggest challenge right now. It's just finding creative ways for the kids to be able to participate and not lose interest, while they're inundated with tons and tons of homework in their math and their English and all their core classes. So it's a challenge for sure.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Even with
Mhm.
this cool setup I have going on, it's still a challenge, especially kids unmuting themselves and just screaming horrible things, and then giving their friends the code to get in, and then their friends jumping in and saying horrible things, and then yeah, I had one kid. I
Yeah.
had one kid today who just came in, and then I didn't know who it was, but just in case it was one of mine, I let him in, and then I said, "All right, you got 3 seconds to unmute yourself and tell me who you are." And then they put, "Shut up, you dumb bitch," or something like that. And I was like, "All right, well there you go." And I just booted them, and then everyone was like, "Ooh, he swore." I was like, "Be quiet. You guys are just yelling. It's not that big a deal."
Yeah, no, not on, like I have not had that. Like I said, I get the kids that want to be there.
Yeah.
So they're pretty good about not doing any silly business. Even my seniors last year, they could have been a handful. But that no, they're the good kids. But I could see it happening with, even with like some of our older teachers that aren't too tech savvy, and just getting stuff set up, and like you said, the kids passing out the password, or this whole reconnecting
Mhm.
picture that they can put up and change their name
Yeah.
to all of that. Yeah. I haven't had that, thank goodness. And one of the big things right now, it's like cameras on.
Yeah.
A lot of the parents don't want their kids on screen. Totally respectful of that decision.
Mhm.
But one of the things I tell my students is, listen, when and if we ever get to go back, I want to be able to see you walking down the hallway and say, hey, you're in my class, and not, you're not going to be walking around with a black screen with your name, around school. So I want to know who I'm talking to. And most of them have actually been really good about that, especially my freshmen. I've never met my freshmen before.
That's true.
So being able to see them on camera is super helpful right now. So they've been pretty good, thank goodness.
Well, I think that would make an awesome Halloween costume, just a big black poster board that has reconnecting written in the middle. I think, yeah.
I would not be surprised if that's like the 2020 costume of the year. If we even have Halloween. Are we gonna have Halloween?
We'll probably have it virtually, and then everyone will dress up with a poster board. Okay,
for the parade.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I read a really good meme, and it said that we just realized that last year was the last year that we'll ever have snow days. That from now on we can always.
I saw that. I saved it. I totally saved that meme because it's true.
Yeah.
We can't, especially here. It's like, we get like an inch of rain and then shut it down because El Paso can't drive in the rain.
Are you serious? The school gets shut down in El Paso?
No.
Oh.
No, we had a couple actually. Did we have last year? There was like some inclement weather days that we did have because of freezes. There was a couple, I think, that didn't end up happening, and then parents were upset because then they have to accommodate their work schedules to get the kids into school later and whatnot. So but I mean, it's better to err on the side of caution, I think is the saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had a few inclement weather days when it's like not 70 degrees in El Paso.
Perfect, you mean? Or scorching hot. Yeah, so it's kind of strange because then it calls into question like CPS and DCS involvement, because there are going to be those snow days where parents have to go to work. They can't call off. And then so is it then okay to leave the kid by themselves? And at what age is that fine? So I think there's just a whole logistical mess that has to be figured out if that's going to be the case.
Big time. There's, I mean, the parents right now, the parents that are, at home, they're working from home, their kiddos are learning from home. The parents are trying to help the kids while they're still working. My props, just, yeah.
Oh yeah. For them to to handle everything going on. So that's the other thing that I realized too is, other than seeing that meme and realizing we just lost snow days forever, but I feel like we, as a society, kind of realize what jobs can be done from home and kind of maybe should be done from home and what jobs can't be. And so I think going back to what I was talking about with the you teaching online, like where do you see the future of online teaching? Do you think that they're going to keep hybrid going even when the pandemic's over? Do you think they're going to like have 3 weeks on, 1 week off, or 4 days on, 1 day off? Do you think they're going to keep something like that?
I mean, honestly, I think it's really going to be a parent decision. We're going to see a lot of kids that are thriving with this online environment. And then we're going to have those kids that just need that face-to-face contact. And maybe it's not even the social aspect of it, but it's just the environment. Being able to have that option, I think it's great moving forward. I don't think it's something we should lose, especially, like I said, for those kids who just kind of need, they need to get their education, but don't feel comfortable in a classroom or don't feel comfortable being around other people. So I think if this is something that we can use to their benefit, then why not? And then there's those teachers that are thriving teaching online and, don't want to be in the classroom anymore. This could be something that, could be a positive for them as well. So I think if we have the option, I don't think it should go away, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. And it's so funny that you mentioned that because I'm one of those teachers who really enjoys teaching online, talking to an inanimate object and knowing that there's someone on the other line. And then, it's kind of weird because I think I forgot who I mentioned it to. It might have been Sonia, but like you're here on the computer screen, but then like I have to talk to the camera. So it looks like I'm talking. But Sonia said that she sees that Mickey Mouse is still an influence in your life.
Majorly.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. I saw that before and I was just like, I don't even know what that is. But then now it 100% makes sense.
Totally is.
Yeah.
My office at school is like all Mickey Mouse everything. And the kids have had a challenge of like, how many Mickey Mouses are in Miss Mendez's office? And they have yet to figure it out. So
Do you know?
he's my go-to.
Do you know?
I do not. I actually do not. I
So
do
even if
not
they got
know.
it right, you wouldn't be able
There's
to reward them.
no, and then we add to it like on a daily.
Okay, so why? So when did Mickey Mouse become such an influential part of your life? Because I know that you're MM just like he is.
Um, honestly, just growing up, since I can tell you my first little like figurine Mickey Mouse, and I actually still have it. I actually have it at school. I got in the 6th grade. I got that one in the 6th grade as a gift, and then I think it just kept going from there, and it was just like Mickey after Mickey. I remember my freshman year at Andress. I'm such Chapin. My freshman year at Andress, we'd always give awards at the end of the year. The officers would give awards, and I remember a senior Misty was the one who gave me my award. And I was big on stickers. Like stickers is my thing. I had stickers on everything, like the Lisa Frank and everything. I had stickers everywhere. And my award was the "Hey Mickey, you're so fine," and the award was like covered in nothing but stickers. I remember that.
That's
So
great.
yeah, I mean it's just, I don't know. It's the kids always ask me, or people have asked me like, why Mickey or why Disney? I always take the kids to Disneyland, and it's one of those things that just kind of makes you happy no matter what you're feeling or where you're at in your life. You could be a kid all over again. The kids laugh at me because it's like, all right, bye kids, and then there goes Miss Mendez, to Space Mountain. But it's just one of those things where you don't have to be responsible, but you do. But just the feeling to be able to get away, and just someone who, no matter what mood you're in, is going to make you smile. And so I think that's why I've always gravitated towards Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse and maybe teaching. Sounds like
Mickey
a good
Mouse
teaching
and teaching.
philosophy. Yeah. Deja
Yeah.
says she
I
remembered.
always tell the kids. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say Deja said she remembered seeing you for the first time, meeting you, and you were in a Mickey Mouse T-shirt.
There you go. So it's a long running thing.
Yeah, but what were you gonna say? I'm sorry I interrupted you. You said something about the kids. You were gonna tell the kids.
Oh no, I always tell them that when I retire from teaching, I hate gum. Like I can't stand gum. I don't chew gum. I don't let my kids chew gum. But I always tell them that when I retire from teaching, I'm gonna go scrape gum at Disneyland just so that I can go work at Disneyland.
Well, that sounds disgusting, but no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, because
I could be there.
Oh no, well, yeah, for sure. But no, I saw a photo because I was like, "What photo should I use of you to make the announcement?" And then I remember I saw a photo of you, I guess, in front of Epcot Center, and you had Mickey Mouse ears. And I never made the connection of Mickey and you. And then now that everyone's telling us what's going on,
No.
yeah, I was like, "Oh shit, I should have used that one."
Last year was the first time. Yeah, last year was I had never been to Disney World until last year. I've been to Disneyland, I don't know how many times. I've gotten to take my students a bunch of times, so that's always fun for them. And I think that's my favorite trip because I have so many kids that, if it wasn't for a group like ours, they would never even leave El Paso. And looking back, my first trip anywhere was my freshman year to Disneyland with Miss Hernandez.
Oh damn.
And yeah, and like first overnight, first away from parents, just all of us, high school kids with one teacher. That was our first trip. And so doing that now with my students, like I always tell the parents, I'm like, guys, I thank you for trusting me. I'll take care of them. And I do. It's always a fun trip, but just kind of seeing them for the first time, like learning how to adult, as 14, 15-year-olds, where it's like, okay, did you shower today? Good. Okay. Do you have your money? Good. It's nice to be able to give them that opportunity. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
Disney, Mickey.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sonia said that she went to Disneyland for the first time this year and she loved it.
Really?
So that's
wow. Yeah. This, I don't know how many times this is actually the first time in, I would say, the last oh my gosh, in the last 10 years maybe, that I don't have a Disney trip.
And you can't even
Thanks,
do.
COVID.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, for sure. And you can't even do anything virtually, right?
No, we were actually scheduled. So we alternate, the band travels, orchestra travels. We alternate our years. And funny story, our band director is Mr. Uribe. And for those of you who were in band in middle school, Mr. Uribe used to be the band director with Mr. Otero. He was his assistant.
You mean Terrace Hills?
At Terrace Hills, yes.
Dang.
And so Mr. Uribe is now the head band director at Chapin. And I always tell the kids, I'm like, well, Mr. Uribe was the band director when I was in middle school. But yeah, so we alternate. So the band travels one year and then the orchestra travels one year. And this past year was the band. And so I always chaperone their trips and then they chaperone my trips. So we go to Disneyland every year, just about.
Yeah. Well,
And
I'm trying to
we
do
didn't
some
get to
quick
go this
maths.
past year.
Well, I'm trying to do some quick maths. How old would Mr. Uribe be?
I hope he doesn't get mad for saying this, but he just turned 53, if I'm not mistaken. 53, 54.
Wow, 53, 54. And how old are we? 39. Oh, okay. Yeah, not even that much older. What the hell?
So I think that was like his first teaching gig, honestly. Like maybe like straight out of college was his first job there at Terrace Hills.
That's freaking nuts.
So yeah, he's the band director.
Yeah, imagine just being 13 years older, like 26, while these punk ass kids are 13. But then now it's like nothing. Jesus.
Yeah.
Sonia asked, does he still have braces?
No braces.
50-year-old man with braces. That's hilarious.
No braces. His daughter too, probably, but no, not Mr. Yu.
do they go to Chapin? Or no, they'd have to be way older, right? Like 20s.
Actually, the youngest one is a freshman, and she was like months old, like carrying, when I started teaching at Chapin. So she's a freshman now.
What? Oh my God! It's
Yeah.
blowing my mind.
His two oldest, one of them just got her master's in Champaign, Illinois, and is now living in New York City. His oldest, and then the second one is just starting her freshman year at UT Arlington. So he has 3 girls.
Yeah, Champaign Urbana. That's like 2 hours away from where I'm at right now. So
yeah, she just did her master's there, and she's doing like the technical side of theater. So she gets to travel with a lot of the touring companies, the opera companies. She did this big thing in oh my gosh, I'm gonna get it wrong. I think it was in Versailles this past year, or maybe the year before. Like they staged a production there at her campus, and then they got invited by like the Parisian government, and then got to take the play or the performance out there. And so she got to do that, and it's like that's some big stuff. Like
for sure,
you're pretty cool. And yeah, now she's living in New York City. They just moved her to New York City a few weeks ago, and so she's getting to do all that. And hopefully once all this goes away and Broadway isn't dark anymore, she'll be able to still be working with those productions and whatnot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely. Yeah, and it's just so weird realizing how staggered everything is. So like a 26-year-old is teaching 13-year-olds, and then you become a 26-year-old and you're teaching 30-year-olds, but then you're still teaching, but then he's still teaching. So it's just like all these different layers of influence. And so even Luis Chinea said that it's so weird to think about how young they were when we were young, because they just, they were teachers. So they were old. They're like 40 years old straight out the gate. But it's like, no, dude, it's 26.
They were in their 20s. Yes. I think I was 23 when I first started teaching. And granted, it didn't feel as close of age because I started with middle school kids. But, if I was a 23-year-old high school teacher, those kids are just a few years younger, which... Yeah. Yeah. I student taught at a high school. My second semester, I student taught at Jeff. And this is probably like one of the times I stopped going out because I mean there was like the hottest days and you could just go party and whatnot. And all I remember was hearing, "Hey, Miss Mendez," and like, "Oh, hi!" And it was the kids that I was student teaching at the time.
Right? It's so weird.
That we're all partying too, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna come over here for another while.
Yeah, for a bit. Yeah, there was one kid in class today, and they were talking about what's better, orange juice or apple juice. And this kid just out of nowhere goes, "Yeah, but you can make more drinks with orange juice." And no one said anything. I was like, this idiot, he's just giving himself up like that. And then so finally, I let some time pass, and I was like, "What were you talking about, man? Making some drinks?" And he just started laughing. I was like, "You moron."
Oh no. Oh
Yeah.
no. What grade level do you have?
I mean, it's like it's hard to. Oh, do I have? Juniors and seniors.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Seniors.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Those
get
are
it.
the
You
fun
know,
ones.
dad's liquor cabinet and everything like that. You know, but it's just so weird because I was in love with Jesus, like up until I don't know 24 ish, and
Okay.
so I couldn't imagine doing that kind of stuff. But so what were your party days like in UTEP?
Oh man. Bad.
Bad. That's why you're sipping on water right now. That's why we're sipping on some
Yes,
agua.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, the hottest days were the big thing, and you could go and you were fine and drive back and cross the bridge and hope you still have your ID. I actually lost my ID one time and ended up recovering it much later in life, only because my sister used to work with the immigration, and one of her friends happened to recognize my ID with the girl that was using it, and she's like, "Wait, I know this girl. This is her sister." And somebody else was using my ID to cross back and forth at that time. So
Oh damn.
um, yeah, I don't know that I would relive those party days anymore.
Yeah.
I
Well,
cannot.
now you go running by Andrus.
Usually when I change my route, I actually run right by Dowell just about every day.
Man.
Dowell is in my path, and it's completely different. If you haven't seen it, they're rebuilding it. So
What?
that big lot, yeah, remember that big lot in the back that they
Yeah.
used to make us eat around? Like
Yeah.
that was our running. That's all gone.
What is it now? Is
Mhm.
it a building? Is it a parking?
They're rebuilding it. So they're actually combining Dowell Elementary and Schuster. Schuster is, if it's not already closed, set to close. And so
What?
they're bringing the kiddos, yeah,
Okay,
over
so
to
what they're
Dowell.
okay, so they're building the new building in that lot and then they're tearing the old one down. Oh no, did they already
Mhm.
tear it down?
No. It's still there. They actually still have kids there. Well, I mean,
Okay.
they had kids there,
Yeah.
but yeah. So like my voting location is there, and so I get to go in there and see, and it's just so tiny and cute, and it's like, oh, look
Right.
at
And
this.
it's so weird because I remember like the doors, like the cabinet doors made out of wood, the desks made out of wood, the bookshelves made
Mhm.
out of wood. And I've never been able to
Yes.
recreate that smell until one time I drove through Oklahoma. It was so weird. It's so
Okay.
random. I was driving through Oklahoma and I had the windows down and it just smelled like third grade. And I was like, oh my God. So I don't know if it's like the same wood
Wow.
that they use, but it's all these memories kept flooding back. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
when did you
yeah.
go to Dowell? What years did you go to Dowell?
What year?
Ooh. Let's see. So I was born in 81. I don't do math. I guess it was 84, 85 through 90, 89, 90, I think. I was there all through from kinder to through fifth.
Oh,
I
damn.
was at Dowell. Yeah,
Okay.
my whole elementary was there at Dowell.
Okay, so who were your
So,
teachers? Who were, because it's,
okay, so kindergarten I had Miss Ortega.
hmm.
First grade I had Miss Snively. Second grade I had Miss Mosley too, who every now, like, I haven't seen her in a few years, but she still remembers me. Third grade I had Miss Tinnen, I believe it was her name.
Teeny.
Miss Tinnen.
Teen.
What was it?
Oh my God, I'm screaming and then I'm hearing the delay on your end. Okay, Teeny. It was Miss Teeny, right?
Miss Teeny,
Yeah.
And then fourth grade, maybe you had her, Miss Happy.
Yes. With all the
Miss Happy
bracelets and all.
Mr.
Yeah.
Shore.
Yeah.
Yes, her big old rocks. Like she had like really like really old wrinkly hands, and she always had those massive rocks.
Yeah.
And then she wore her like Pee-Pee Longstocking on Spirit Days. Do you remember that?
No, okay, I don't remember that. I just remember she jangled everywhere she walked because she had bracelets like all over her forearm, and then these massive like rings, mood rings,
and then
stuff.
like big poofy white hair.
Yep.
Yes. So it was Miss Happy and Mr. Shore, because I remember that's when we started switching teachers.
Oh, damn.
So we go to Mr. Shore for science. And then in fifth grade, I had Mr. Collins.
Yeah. Okay. So that's probably why I remember you in fourth and fifth grade, because we were in the same class, third, fourth, and fifth. So first grade, I had Mrs. Craig, and I guess it was her first year because I don't know if you remember Jessica Cohn. She said she remembers making her cry. And then second grade, I had Mrs. Starkey.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
And see, in kinder, first and second, I was in the Spanish group.
Oh, I see.
Yes. And then the summer between second and third, they sent me to summer school to learn English. And then third grade, that's when I got moved into Miss Teeny's class, and it was the all English class.
That's so funny. Were you proud?
I was scared. Like, I don't understand anything that's happening. But you know what? I'm thankful for that, because it forced me to learn. You know, I had no choice. Like it was sink or swim, and I had never learned how to swim. So it really forced me to learn the English language, because if not, I don't know how much longer it would have taken me. To learn
for
it.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
so
it was
before the interview, I asked if there was anything off limits, and you said no. So we're going to talk about your fourth grade. We're going to talk about your fourth grade boyfriends.
Hold on.
All right. We're going to talk about Alan and Ricardo, because it was like the biggest deal on the planet. It rocked the fourth grade scene like you wouldn't believe. One day you were with one boy.
It was like fifth grade.
Yeah, okay, I think it was fifth grade, but I felt like you guys had been dating in fourth grade. I don't know who you started with, and there was another girl. Yeah, Claudia. I don't know who she had started with, but then one day you guys had just like wife swapped, and it was the weirdest thing ever. It like had shook Dowell to its foundation, like so hard that they had to years later combine it with Schuster. That's how hard it rocked the foundation of Dowell.
You know, I honestly completely forgot about that till you mentioned it. When you messaged me, I was like, oh my God. I don't even know how. I don't even know what.
Love him, leave him. Margie Mendez. She don't fuck around with no scrubs.
Things don't change, by the way. Just kidding.
All right.
No,
and yeah. And then so in sixth grade, what happened in sixth grade? You decided to leave the dating world behind and focus on the orchestra?
On the violin.
On the violin, yeah.
No, I don't think the boy craziness stopped. Because then that I remember, and seeing this is where the little Mickey and the Pluto, it was a little Mickey figurine and a Pluto figurine, Ricky Arredondo.
Oh, it sounds so familiar. It sounds so familiar. Okay.
That was the sixth grade boyfriend, I think. And the funny thing is that I was never allowed to have a boyfriend. I think when the Dowell thing happened, the principal called my mom, and all because, okay, so the whole dating in elementary school was we were walking around that big old yard, holding hands. Like that's how you dated in elementary school. You held hands with someone and walked around. I mean, I don't even think we talked. We just walked until the end of lunch, and then we go to class. But the principal ended up calling my mom, and then I remember my dad going to school to pick me up that afternoon. And from that day forth, my parents would always take me to school and pick me up after school.
Dang. On lockdown.
I wasn't like we had a bus, but I was not allowed to ride the bus because they didn't want me around anybody else, and so mom's gonna take you and mom's gonna pick you up.
Are they Catholic?
But yeah, uh-huh,
Oh,
big
okay.
time.
Yeah, that makes sense now. Okay.
And I was like,
Makes
I was
sense
the
now.
baby, you know, and all my brothers and sisters were in high school at that point, and I was the kid, and so they had more time for me, and so yeah, I was, but I still had a boyfriend. If they're watching.
Okay, I actually remember Ricky Arredondo. I remember that name because we used
Yeah,
to
no, I
play
remember
You
that
poker.
remember
name
now?
because we-
Yeah, we used to, I met up with him.
Okay.
It was so random. I was like in Las Cruces at an Arby's, and then he was in there using the Wi-Fi, just like doing work. And I was like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" He's like, "Oh shit, what's up, dude?" And we
Like,
just
"Oh,
started
shit, what's up,
talking,
dude?"
and then we just started playing
Oh
poker together,
wow.
just randomly.
Yeah,
Just
I
random.
like social media. I might still have him, but I haven't seen or connected with him in years, I would say. But yeah, sixth grade, Ricky. But I did have a crush on someone else. Go figure.
Hmm.
But I don't think that was sixth grade. I think that was like in seventh grade. This person made me a little box, which was a weird thing because for Christmas, he made me this little box and like totally engineered it. And like it had like the little Christmas fluff inside, and you opened it and it played music. And then it had Butterfinger, like a little pack of Butterfinger BBs.
That's funny.
But he liked another girl at that time. So I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah, everyone liked everyone but dated everyone. Okay, so who was the boy? You can't just mention it and then not say the boy.
I'm gonna get in trouble because I don't know if he's watching.
Oh shit. You got come on, you got to spill that tea. That's what we're doing. I said
Oh,
I said
man.
is there anything
Maybe
off
he doesn't
limits?
even remember.
Okay,
Oh,
there you
I
go.
did say that, right?
Yeah. Maybe he
I
doesn't
don't even
remember.
know that he remembers, but it was Henry.
Irigoyen?
Enrique.
Itty bitty Goyen? Yeah. All right, so he's actually one of my best friends. We've kept in touch ever since. He'll go to my comedy shows at the comic strip whenever I host, and I think the last time I saw him was if not this Christmas, the Christmas before. We were at Starbucks in the Northeast over by North Hills. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like I've kept in contact with him more recently on social media, and actually from him was when I found out about Sam.
Yeah.
That I started. So we've like messaged back and forth, just quick ones. He's like in California, I think.
He is,
and
yeah.
he's always posting like these beautiful scenery pictures. I'm like, I will trade you. I don't want to be here.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So, yeah.
I get it. Yeah, being in hot ass El Paso and then not having beautiful ocean views like that. But yeah, so you were in orchestra with Sam.
Orchestra Sam.
Yes.
Yeah,
Since
yeah.
middle school.
Jeez.
Since middle school all the way through high school. Yeah. Sam. And I attended they had like a virtual memorial for him. And
Yeah.
actually let our orchestra teacher know, Miss Hernandez. I gave her the news too, and so she was able to attend. And I remember senior year, we were both up for orchestra president, and everybody was like, "Yeah, Marge's gonna get it. Marge's gonna get it." And then Sam came up and did this like big old like delivered speech of like, "I'm gonna change the world," and everybody voted for Sam. And so I didn't get orchestra president, and I was bitter all year long. Like, I think if you still have the Andres like yearbook in our officer picture, like I look livid. Oh no, you didn't. Yeah.
All right, orchestra. Do you know what page? It's on?
Oh, I don't remember what page. I know like the fine arts, I think we're like in the middle somewhere. Okay. But yeah, in that officer picture, it's like RBF cannot be like the definition of RBF is on that.
Oh my God.
I can't believe you have that.
Yeah, of course. That's where I've been. That's what I should have done for your picture. So I think Sonia had a bunch of your pictures, especially you in the.
She did. She had the middle school ones.
Yeah, and the quinceañera and all that shit. So
the quinceañera ones, the middle school with my big old like glasses.
Yeah.
With the bow.
Oh,
that's probably where the Mickey influence comes in, with the big old bows on my head.
That's so funny. Oh my God, where is this shit? I gotta find this. It's so
They
hilarious.
should. Is there like the index? Didn't we have like an index
Yeah,
with the
but then
page numbers?
but then we were dumb, and then we put all the stupid like, this is what happened this year. You remember that? It's like we didn't know Wikipedia was gonna exist later. Oh, here we go. All right, orchestra.
Oh, here we go.
Oh shit, yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, there it is. There's Sam.
Yeah, right there.
Yep. Right in the middle. RBF all the way.
Bitter as fuck.
Yeah.
You guys look like some weird
Yep.
Addams Family recreation. That's so
Oh my gosh.
well. I'm gonna scan those and I'm gonna put them in with this later. So that's so funny. Now we know this. Now we know the behind the scenes of that picture. Why Sam was grinning so hard and why you were so bitter.
And I was livid. I was so livid when that happened. They're just like, you guys aren't my friends.
That's so fun. And then now here you are, orchestra teacher.
Now I'm teaching orchestra. Yeah.
I could not get those words out of my mouth.
Yeah, it was a fun ride though, but
yeah. Okay, so what are some of the big changes that you've noticed at Andrus? Because I know you sent me some photos, and then it looked like they gutted the quad. Like that's completely different.
Yes. So the quad, actually, a few years ago, if you remember, on the cafeteria, they had like those bricks that covered the entire view. So at some point in the last, I would say maybe 10, 15 years, they halved that wall. So now you could see the actual cafeteria windows and only half of like those bricks that they had that you could see through. So they made it a short wall. And then this past year, so they've been gutting it completely. So the quad is completely gone and it is gorgeous. The way it is now, it's like, I want to come hang out here. There's so much seating and there's shading. They have almost like an amphitheater type setting in front of the main office now.
Okay. And that's what I think I saw.
Yeah, so that's all brand new. They connected the buildings on the outside. So like the Mackinac side.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
There's like stairs or ramps that connect the buildings now.
Yeah, those walkways, because I think it's like a handicap thing. Like if you just get one elevator, then they're all connected. Yeah.
So that's all brand new. And then they're in the process of building the fine arts building now, finally, in the parking lot. So where the library was, right behind that. So the parking lot that used to be, I think that used to be like the teacher lot.
Yeah.
Before the student parking lot. Yeah. So that is the new fine arts, and it's supposed to be the like state of the art, beautiful, huge auditorium. So that's exciting. That should have happened since 2006. It was a 2006 bond, and it's just not getting built.
Jeez.
Yeah. And there's a field house out by the gym, like gorgeous field house that just got added with these beautiful, like, you know, like floor to ceiling windows, so the kids that are working out have the view of the entire stadium out there. So a new softball field, I think, over on the side of where what's the elementary school that's over there? Newman.
Yeah.
So there's a new, it's either a baseball or a softball field that got added on that side. So it's not the same Andrus anymore.
Jeez. Okay. I'm going to take a walk through there. I mean, after I get to Dell. Dell is my priority number one, because I heard that they completely changed everything about Terrace Hills, and I'm super pissed that I didn't get a chance to go back and see it.
Yeah, I haven't ran in that area, so I haven't really seen it, but I know that was one of the ones that was getting rebuilt within the last couple of years or so.
Damn it.
So I have no idea what that one looks like. No idea, but it'd be nice to go and check it out.
Yeah, that's where we spent our formative years. That's where we blossomed into the idiots. Well, I mean, not you, but that's where I blossomed into the idiot that I am. Okay, so speaking of idiots, and I'm totally glad I remember this, but then you mentioned Sam, and I was like, there's no way I can talk about this. Do you remember Nancy McGowan? Do you remember being friends with a Nancy McGowan in 4th and 5th grade? Okay, so one time when we were running around the field, because that was like our go-to busy work exercise for PE, we were just about to finish, and I had just passed both of you, and I got a wild hair up my ass, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna moon these two girls. and I mooned both of you, and then I kept running, and then by the time I got back, I think it was Coach Martinez. I'm not exactly sure, but he's like, George, come here. And I was like, what? He's like, did you expose yourself to those two girls? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, did you pull your pants down? I was like, I mean, yeah. I mean, I just showed him my butt. He was like, go to the office. And I had a referral written that said that I had exposed myself to two young ladies. And I just imagine you both like traumatized, like crying. I was like, I mean, but they were like, okay with it. I mean, it was like, okay with it. So you don't remember?
I don't remember. I do not remember that.
It was so traumatizing. You blocked it out.
I clearly blocked it. I don't know. No,
that's so funny. Yeah,
I have no idea of that happening.
Yeah, because I remember in middle school. Do you remember how Terrace had the elevated like tennis courts?
Yes.
Okay, so we were playing dodgeball there. Yeah, exactly. So we were playing dodgeball there, and then it was so funny because Nancy was like in the middle, and I don't want to be an asshole. You're trying to aim for someone's body, but it just slipped the wrong way and it smacked her right in the face, and I felt so bad. Because like part of me was like, that's what you get for telling on me in the 4th grade, but then like the other part was like, don't be so petty. Yeah, so yeah, I feel bad.
Oh my gosh, no. I totally do not remember that even happening. I vaguely remember some of the PE stuff. You posted a picture of the like the monkey bars.
Oh yeah, the jungle gym.
The jungle.
Yeah. I got stuck up there in kindergarten. I think it was kindergarten. I was stuck up there. Like I stuck my feet in that very top triangle. And then all of a sudden I was like, I don't know if I was, I guess, the chunky kid, or I just got terrified and like couldn't get out. And I remember Miss Ortega, my kindergarten teacher, like having to climb up there to go and pull me out of there.
That's so funny. Just a crying little Mexican
girl. When I saw that
there.
Picture posted, yeah, I saw the picture posted and I was just like, oh my gosh, I remember that. But I don't remember you mooning us. No.
Okay, and it's so funny too, because I remember that only because I kept that referral. And
did you?
Yeah, because with the report cards and you keep all that stuff, and then so I remember looking through it one day, maybe in high school, and I was like, "Oh my god, this!" And then I just remember everything, like pulling up my jacket and being like, and then just running off. So yeah, there you go.
No, I totally do not remember that, but I'm sure it was hilarious.
Yeah. Definitely something that I would slap a kid now for doing, but Okay, so do you remember we used to get paddled in elementary school?
I was a good kid, so no, I never got paddled.
Oh no, neither did I. I was a straight A student, but I just remember like walking through the hall and like seeing kids getting paddled. It was terrifying.
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay, good.
No. I don't think I ever like. I went to the office once because a bee stung me. Remember the tires? The tires that they added into the yard, and we would like jump over those.
I love those. Yeah.
Getting stung by a bee. And the orange ones. The orange ones were my favorite ones. I could jump those. The other ones I couldn't, but the orange ones I could.
Yeah, I remember having to like place your hands and then jump over it. Yeah, I remember. And then we used to hide in the inside of those. And then I remember for the longest time they had them stacked over on the other side of the school, and then we used to climb those and be real stupid with those. Oh my god. Okay, so you got into orchestra in 6th grade, because I remember you could do orchestra in 6th grade and then band in 7th grade. So you got into orchestra.
Actually started in 5th grade.
Oh, 5th grade.
We had 5th grade. Yeah, we had 5th grade orchestra was where it started. I had Miss Sarah Bowling.
Oh, damn.
Was the orchestra teacher there, and then went on to middle school with Miss Hernandez.
Yeah, okay, at Dow. Yeah, because I don't remember. I guess now that you mention it, I remember them having instruments in 5th grade, but then I really remember like they pushed theater or orchestra, and then in 7th grade you could join band. Maybe Sonia can verify that, because I know she's oh shit, Enrique just joined the chat.
Oh no.
Oh shit!
We said great things about you, Henry. We sure did.
Yeah, let's see if he remembers Butterfingers. I don't know if he's gonna remember Butterfingers, but we like Butterfingers. Get us some, please.
Oh my my gosh, that's too
so
funny.
yeah. Okay, so you're doing the orchestra, you're on that trajectory, and then you get into high school and you continue doing orchestra. Was that all consuming? Did you do any other activities, any other sports or
Did
anything?
dance. I did dance only because I did not want to take PE. I didn't want to do that, the fitness tests where you have to run a mile and so many push-ups and sit-ups and whatnot. And so I chose dance only to find out that we still had to do the same thing there. So yeah, I did dance my sophomore year, and then I tried out for the dance team behind my mom's back. I had asked my mom for permission, and she's like, "No, just stick to orchestra." And so I said, "No, I'm going to do it." And so sure enough, I tried out and I made it. So I was on the dance team my junior and senior year. And we had the same dance teacher, Miss Arreola. I love Miss Arreola. She actually went to my college graduation. And
Damn.
I had her freshman, sophomore, junior year, and then she left our senior year. And I'll tell you this quick story. I had my karma because when we had the new dance teacher, I was miserable. Like I decided from day one that I was not going to like her, that I was going to make her life miserable. And I was that senior. And so we had auditions and we had this huge team. And I was the instigator. If anyone ever find out, well, now's the time. Like I was like, "Oh, well, so and so said this about your dance," or, "Oh, I don't like this dance and let's not use this costume." I would start fights and arguments. And we would have these sessions after school or after practice where we would just like all be screaming and yelling at each other. And there was a recital at Miss Areola's new high school. She had moved to Socorro High School. And so all excited, "Oh, I'm going to go visit her. I miss her, go see her, blah, blah, blah." And after the performance, I went to go say hi to her, and she brings me in and like literally, I think she probably like pulled my ears. She says, "What do you think you're doing?" Because my new dance teacher had like been telling her everything that I've been doing this whole time.
Oh no.
And she was mad at me. She's like, "This is not who I taught you to be." And, like super disappointed. I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I'll be good." So then fast forward to my first year at Chapin, I had this one student who decided they were going to make my life miserable for their entire senior year. And sure enough, like it was like meeting after meeting. And like, they never did anything ugly, but it was just like the talking back, the fighting, the rolling of the eyes in class. And I was just like, karma. This is Margie's senior year karma, dealing with the senior right now. And they graduated and they actually ended up apologizing, which was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But after a few years, I saw the Andrus dance teacher a few years. She actually married Mr. Payne. Do you remember Mr. Payne?
P-A-Y-N-E.
He was P-A-Y-N-E. Yes. He was the senior English teacher, one of the senior English. It was him and Mr. Evans that were the English teachers. I didn't do any of the AP classes.
Okay.
But Mr. Payne ended up marrying the new dance teacher. And I remember seeing them like years later. And I actually saw her and I said, "I'm sorry. I was terrible. Your first year at Andrews, and I apologize for that."
Dang.
So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, dance, long story. But yeah, dance and orchestra were the two things that I did when I was there in high school. And then yeah, I had a boyfriend.
In high school?
Crazy. Mm-hmm. And this one I had permission. I did have permission. My mom allowed me to date. I think like my sophomore year was when we started dating.
Who was it?
And
Who was it?
I'm sure the people around here probably know. Eric Rodriguez. We dated all through high school and maybe about a year after graduation, which funny because last year I actually had his nephew as a freshman.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So, and his sister was a senior when I was a freshman. When we were freshmen, his sister was a senior in orchestra. And so I actually knew her first before I met Eric the year. After that, we started dating. So yeah, it was small world.
Have you kept in touch with him on Facebook or?
Oh no. We broke it off. Not on the best of terms.
Okay.
But so it was interesting. It was interesting, like seeing his nephew, and it's just like it's him. It's like the miniature version of him. But he's a sweet kid, like super sweet kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no. We definitely did not keep in touch. I haven't seen him in years. I think at some point I ran into him at the gym maybe a few years ago, and kind of like said hello after a few awkward like glances of like, is it him? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's me. It's me. I'm here.
Oh my goodness.
But no, that's definitely did not keep in contact with that. We were prom king and queen.
You were? Senior year?
Senior year.
I had no idea.
Totally.
Oh wow. I didn't know I was talking to royalty. My bad. I'm so sorry.
No. I think because we had the superlatives,
Yeah.
like the most popular and best smile. Like we were cutest couple. We were voted cutest couple.
Oh damn.
Yeah. I don't think that ever made into the yearbook though.
Oh, okay. Because I know
Or maybe it did. No, maybe it did. I think it did.
Let me see.
I haven't seen that in ages.
Yeah, I'll scan it, like I said, and then I'll get it in there.
Oh my gosh.
Retro style homecoming. Let's see, homecoming week. Let me see. Where's prom? Oh, I don't think they have prom in here. Oh,
no, I don't think prom ever made it because it was after. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the superlatives are probably in there. I think those were.
Yeah, I don't know where though. I'll find it.
That's
That's so goofy. Yeah.
So
Okay, so just to go back and clarify, Sonia said that orchestra was 5th grade and band was 6th grade. So if you want to join band, you have to wait till middle school. And then Sonia wants to know if you guys double dated when she was with Victor Lopez.
Yes, we would hang out at Eric's house, and that whole little crew would always be there. So yes, Sonia would be with Victor, and I would be with Eric. I think we ended up going to like a homecoming dance all together one year.
Oh my god.
Maybe like sophomore year, because I went to homecoming I think my sophomore year and senior year when we had it in the quad. Our senior year homecoming was in the quad, the luau. And I think it was just because we were broke. Like we were broke and we couldn't afford like a hall, and so they had it at school in the quad.
Yeah, but that's so much more exciting, right?
It was nice. I liked it. It was fun, and it was on campus. It was obviously cheaper and closer, and so yeah, that was nice. But I remember now that Sonia mentioned that, I used to go with them to the band dances because the band used to have their own dance, and Victor and Sonia were both in band.
Mm-hmm.
And Victor and Eric were really good friends, and Sonia and I were friends, so we go to the dance with them, and even though we weren't in band.
Yeah.
But
of course.
crazy. Yeah, I remember. I think he's a teacher in EPISD too, if I'm not mistaken.
Victor?
At least a few years back, I remember touching base with him in the district, but I don't know that he still, or if he still is. Fernie Aguilar is in the yearbook. He was our homecoming king.
I remember. Yeah. He was golf or something like that. Football and golf or something.
Golf or football, yes. Well, he's now one of our football coaches at Chapin.
Oh, damn.
I get to see him there. Yeah. Small world for sure.
Man, we got to do a reunion. What the hell?
Oh, well, I think people try.
I remember Fernando Aguilar.
Yeah. He's one of the coaches at Chapin. So.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that whole debacle with the reunion, I think there were just too many cooks in the kitchen. Like someone wanted to do the homecoming game, but then it was a year after, and so it was like, well, that's not our homecoming game. That's the next year's homecoming game. So if we go, they might be there. And then it's just like, well, if you're there, then who gives a fuck, right? Just go.
Yeah.
If that's what you were into, homecoming games, football games, the band, all that pep shit and cheerlead, like just go and have fun. But so I think this summer after I got a baby son on the way due in December, and then by the time that he's able to travel, we'll go back to El Paso and we'll have a massive reunion. I don't give a fuck.
We need to.
Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. Peter Piper Pizza, are you down?
Do it. Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah. You can bring your families. Spouses can be our DDs, and then we can be drunk as fuck. I'm sorry. We're both teachers. We shouldn't be talking like that. I'm
He
sorry.
shouldn't be here. And it's after hours, so it's all good.
Yeah, but still, anyone can watch this and then boom, we're fired for talking about.
We would drink after hours, not on the clock.
Yeah, exactly.
There.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I have to find out. There's kind of a mission that I've been doing with this project, and it's finding out who knew about Sam and what the connection is, and then also finding out who went to senior breakfast and didn't pay. Did you go to senior breakfast at Denny's?
I went and I paid.
Okay, you went, you paid.
Because it was, so it was so crowded in that back room.
Mhm.
There was no more room to sit everybody together. So we ended up sitting on the front side of the restaurant. And so we were like totally separate from everyone. So we paid. And then till we got back to campus, and I remember Mr. Ortega coming on the announcements and saying, yeah, no more senior activities for you all until we get this bill paid.
Yeah, okay, so I want to know who the fuck didn't pay. Did you like get the inside track on who didn't pay? Like, were there people bragging?
I have no idea who didn't pay, but I mean, in the end, I think we all kind of did because we didn't get to do any of the fun stuff.
Right? So I'm freaking trying to figure it out. Okay, so Deja says she's down for the Peter Piper idea. Sonia says PPP all the way. So we're gonna do some Peter Piper pizza. So this is what I'm thinking. Because there was like a small group of us in Terrace Hills who spent every day together. So we're gonna go get drunk. I'm sorry, we're gonna go praise the Lord.
Drink some lively beverages.
Yeah, we're gonna go live in our spirits. And then I'm thinking that we can go on a hike. We can go into the Franklin Mountains and we can go on a hike as a class of 99. Everyone's welcome. And then we can go to Peter Piper afterwards with our families because we want to see everyone's babies and then all that stuff. So are you down for that kind of?
Can I bring my dog?
Can you bring your what?
Can I bring my dog?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
That's my baby.
Wait, I thought you had a baby.
No.
Who was that kid on the computer doing the?
That's my nephew.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I have 3 nephews. I have he just graduated. One just graduated from high school. He's 18. The other one is a sophomore now, so he's 15, 16, going on 16.
Damn.
And the little kiddo is 5, going on 6.
Holy
so yeah,
shit.
those are the boys in the family. That's it. And then my dog.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised she's actually behaving today. She's like my glue. She's sitting right here next to me. I don't know what she's gonna do when I go back to school because she's like my little shadow everywhere I go.
That's why I feel so bad because I can't take my puppy out since as soon as I get home, I have to go teach the other kids. So there's no time for us to go to this dog park. It's like once or twice a week, and I want to take him every day, but I feel so bad.
Yeah.
He's so.
I want to get her like those emotional support certificates or something, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So I can take her to school. But
yeah, there we go. Yeah.
She'll get used to it again.
Yeah, but he's 2 years old, so he'll just run all over everything, but he loves people so much, especially little kids. He'll belly crawl towards them, and they're like, "Oh my God!" He'll never snip at them. Nothing. He's amazing.
What kind of dog?
He's a lab mix. We're trying to figure out what kind of mix because he's like 45, 50 pounds. So he's real tiny for a lab. Labs are usually like 80, 90 pounds and, thick. But this guy's super skinny. So
you said 40, 50. I thought that was huge because Miley is my dog. She's maybe 10 pounds.
Oh, damn.
She's a little bit. Yeah, she's a weenie dog.
Oh, yeah. Dachshund hot dog. Yeah.
That's weenie dog. So she's a spoiled brat, let me tell you.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm sorry. We're just all here loving our dogs. Just like, okay. So, who would you say are your most influential teachers? Because you just name dropped a bunch of teachers, which I think is awesome. Because I'm over here like I remember Miss Dominguez. I hated her and H.E. Charles, but then Miss Holland was okay. So like I'm like on that level with you. But okay, so who are your most influential teachers that in life, but then also in teaching? Because I know you mentioned what's her name, the dance teacher, and how she influenced you in your life and how to not be a little brat anymore, but.
That was the big life lesson.
Yeah.
I think most influential, definitely Miss Hernandez. who was my orchestra teacher, and the reason why I decided to do this as well. But also Miss Tracy Byer. She was a sixth grade English teacher at Terrace Hills there. And I think it was just the way she always made us feel welcome in her classroom. Like it was never anywhere, that was stressful. It was always fun. And the one thing I always remember her teaching us was if it looked wrong, it's wrong.
Okay.
So that's always been my biggest takeaway. So Miss Hernandez and Miss Byer would probably be my top two, and then Miss Arreola, the dance teacher at Andrus, were probably my most like influential. Mr. Shore in the fourth grade,
Okay.
I remember him because I think I was like teacher's pet. I'm pretty sure I was teacher's pet because I would always finish my work and he would always let me use, he had Where's Waldo books. And while everybody else was working, here's Margie on the Where's Waldo books. And then I remember he used to smoke. And actually, I want to say he died of like cancer because he was a huge, like big, heavy smoker. And this is like when the teachers at that point used to be able to like go outside, or they had like the teacher's lounge where they could actually smoke. Like
Yeah.
he always smelled of smoke. But he would always let me use his Where's Waldo books. And I remember one time he actually took me outside into the yard, into the playground, and let me fly a kite. I don't understand like where everybody else was, where the whole class was, but I know I went with Mr. Shore to go fly a kite, and we went
That's hilarious.
and we did that. So those teachers, and I think it was just like those particular teachers. I think it was their ability to make connections with their students.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a Mr. So and so or a Mrs. So and so. It was how they made you feel valued or cared for in their classroom that I think stands out the most for me about them. And that's something that I strive for as a teacher of, wanting to make sure that my kids know that this is a safe place for you all. And, this is home. I always tell them when you come into this group, this is home because we become your family. We spend so much time together, and it really is like a family. We'll get mad at each other, but then everything's fine, and we laugh and we cry. Like my seniors, they had me bawling this past year at their virtual senior banquet, which I hope we never have to do. But I think it's just that sense of community that those teachers taught me, and something that I like to continue with my students as well. So yeah,
That's so awesome. I was
those
actually going to
teachers.
ask how you incorporated that into your current teaching practices, and I'm glad that you just automatically went there. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's one of those things you learn from the best, and you really just absorb it, and you try to emulate it as best possible, and give your kids that same opportunity and even more opportunities for them to be able to go on and continue. And that's actually the fun part. I actually have two teachers now that are now orchestra teachers as well, two former students.
Oh, damn.
And
I see.
funny thing is the orchestra director at Andrus was my student at Chapin.
Oh, damn.
So talk
Okay.
about like small world, or yeah. Because that was my thing when I decided to be an orchestra teacher. I always said, well, I'm going to come back to Andrus one day and be the teacher here. And then I got the Chapin gig, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going back to Andrus. And so now a former student of mine is teaching there. So that's really cool. And then the other one is teaching in Lubbock. She was part of my first group that started with me at Richardson.
Mhm.
She was a seventh grader when I first started teaching. And then we both transitioned to Chapin. So I had her for 4 more years there. And now she went off to Texas Tech, and she's now teaching in Lubbock. She's a middle school orchestra teacher over there. So that's kind of like, all right. I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh, 100% for sure. I mean, just hearing your stories and how much admiration you have for former teachers and then for your students. Oh, 100%. You're definitely on the right track. Me, maybe not so much, but But
You got a little one on the way, so
yeah, I got a little one on
they're
the
gonna
way.
be
So
your
oh my,
best little ally there.
yeah, he's awesome. I mean, I have no idea, but apparently he's at that age in the womb where he's like developed hands, so he's sucking on his thumbs. And when my wife told me that, oh my god, I was in my office. I just want to start crying. I was like, my baby.
Oh,
Yeah. So
and it starts now.
yeah. So I'm super excited about that. But
Hmm.
oh man, I forgot what I was gonna ask because we're talking about little babies now, and then so hanging out at Chapin and doing all that kind of cool stuff. So we talked a little bit about where we see the future of online teaching, and then so you're obviously because of the position that you're in, you're 100% in favor of classroom teaching.
With precautions.
Yeah.
So I actually take care of my mom, and my mom is on her. This all goes back to like when I started teaching. She got a liver transplant my very first year teaching, and so she's immunosuppressed, and we've kind of been keeping her safe and super take all the precautions in the world. And so that's my only hesitation right now in going back into the classroom. And one of the things that just came out too long ago, like if we do go back, it's just the 6 foot distance. There is no like there's no, especially for me, this is one of the reasons why I'm kind of thankful that I'm not teaching the very beginning level. It's hands on. It's showing, like, I got to put your fingers in the right spot, and that's not going to be something that I'm going to be able to do right now. But if it's an option and it's a safe option to go back and be able to play and make music together, and not through individual tracks that you're just kind of splicing and putting together on a screen to make them look good, then okay, I'm ready to go back. But definitely scared, I'm not gonna lie. But I want to see my kids. I miss my classroom, I miss my setup. Like, these red walls, like, it's already my project to like get rid of this red paint, because it just drives me bananas. And I'm used to my huge white room with all the chairs and all the stands, and the kids all playing at the same time. And even when they don't play in tune, they drive me crazy and my eyes start twitching. I miss all that. Yeah, that's a Miss Mendez thing. That's when they know it's contest time. When my eyes start twitching, they're like, "Oh, here we go, guys.
That's
Get
so
ready."
yeah. Mickey Mouse is going
So,
insane.
big time. Like, when I start counting the Mickeys on the wall, y'all better go practice. By the time I'm done, you better know your music now. So, I mean, I'm open to the options, whether it's hybrid or in person. This is new. No one ever signed up and said, yeah, I'm going to teach through a pandemic. I don't think we covered that in our education classes, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. And so that's kind of why I'm glad that, I mean, obviously, it's a shitty situation and we're putting a bunch of lives at risk, but I feel like it's a great learning opportunity to see what we're capable of, because I feel like now we know that if we had to, we can go virtual and we can do it with some sort of success. And so now it's a matter of practicing. So just like with a tornado drill out here or a fire drill, and so that's kind of
Hmm.
why earlier I mentioned I feel like we should keep going virtual, like 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 3 weeks in the classroom, 1 week virtual, just so that we're ready in case something like this were to happen again. We wouldn't miss a beat, and then we would know how to continue the educational process. So I don't know. How
Big
do
time. I
yeah.
think one of the biggest things, when we left in March, we all thought we were going to go back.
Yeah.
And when we didn't go back, it was one of those of like, we're going to make this work. And I think we did a pretty good job for not ever having done something like this. I think a lot of teachers were able to adapt, and the kids were able to still finish off the school year and now start the school year. It's not the best of the situation, but I think given the circumstances, we adapted and we made it work. And I think that's one of the things about teaching, is that you give us something, and we're going to make wonders with it. And I think that's where you know some of us will struggle some days when your Zoom kicks you out, or the codes aren't working, or you upload the assignment from the wrong file. And mistakes are going to happen, but in the end, we're making it work. And, it's like I said, it's not the best situation for all of us, especially the littles. I really feel for the littles. Like they need to be in the classroom, they need to be with their little peers and whatnot, but they're germy little kids. you know
Oh
so
yeah.
we got to keep them safe, and we got to keep the teachers safe too. We're no one's expendable,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't take one life to finally decide, oh yeah, that probably wasn't a good idea. But if we can make it safe for everyone involved, then by all means. And yeah, 1 week, just to kind of go back into the school and clean and everyone stay home and everyone's good for a week and do some virtual stuff, then why not? We've done it now for months now, it seems. 3 weeks, we've been on for 3 weeks, and then we ended in March through beginning of, like, end of May. So we did 9 weeks at that point. So if we can handle that, we can handle just a week, if that's what ends up being the new option. So
Yeah. Yeah, because I agree.
be nice.
It's harder on the kiddos because it's 100% all about social interactions at that point. Like they get all their learning from social interactions and mirroring and seeing what other kids are doing and how what the boundaries are. They learn not to moon girls while they're running. They learn that kind of
Yeah, don't
valuable
do that,
information.
kids.
Yeah, in elementary school, right? So
No, if you do it on Zoom, don't do it on Zoom,
oh
please.
no,
Don't
definitely
do
don't
it
do it
on
on Zoom. Oh my God, if you do it on Zoom, it's game over. Like I got lucky that
you you posted that video of that teacher with the classroom.
yeah.
That is like, and if she's in on it, props to her, because that is hilarious. The timing of all of those things is just like, that's an awesome group of kids. Like,
Yeah.
if had it been a teacher that wasn't on board, okay, then be nice. But that, if my kids were to do that, I'd be like, yes, guys, good job.
Yeah, but I think from a liability standpoint, she had to be like, "What are you doing? I said no music. What's happening? Stop that. Don't do that." Because if she was in on it, then
And the
yeah.
mom,
Yeah.
the mom that kept popping in, she always ruins it.
Yeah, yeah. Sonia says that she thanks her girls' teachers every day, and so she thanks you for all the inspiration that you provide and for your students and everything. So, I think that's a good.
Thanks,
I think
Miss
that's a
Sonia.
good episode. I think it's a good place to call it because now all I'm thinking about are Peter Piper pizzas and some adult beverages. So that's all I'm thinking about right now.
Beverages.
To liven the mood. But yeah, so thank you for reaching out. Thank you for supporting this project. And I'm super glad that you're willing to sit down and talk. Take some time out of your busy evening to sit down and talk. So up
I gotta
next.
go do grades now.
Oh, you gotta go grade some.
I have to do grades. It's the end of
Oh.
grading, so we gotta upload all of those pretties.
Oh no. Okay. Well, luckily it's early enough over there. I'm gonna go shower and hit the bed. But pretty soon we've got Deja. I'm gonna interview Deja. She agreed to do that. So if you have any stories about her, or if you have any pictures of her, we've got.
I have a lot.
Oh, for real? Hook
All of our
it.
orchestra trips.
Yes, hook it up. Okay. Because I want to start a new thing where it's called For Reals with a Z, because we're dumb 90s kids, and so we looked through all the old goofy pictures that we had, and since you've already seen the ones that Sonia posted, I couldn't do it with you. But if you have some of Deja, hook it up. We're gonna embarrass her. And then Adriana Dominguez, she was in the chat earlier. I got a bunch of pictures of her. She says, "Margie, no, too late." It's going down.
I got him.
Yeah, and then Luis Chinea, we're gonna interview him, so I got to get some old photos of him. Oh shit! She said the glow up is real.
True story.
Oh,
we were rocking those oversized t-shirts though.
Oversized t-shirt. Did you have bangs too? Did you have the huge loops that went out like that?
I think I had them in middle school, not in high school.
Okay. Yeah.
Not so much in high school, but I had the big old glasses the entire time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big old nerd
and then
style
the big
glasses.
Oversized. Yeah, the Massimo shirts.
Oh my God, Massimo! Oh, I haven't thought of that logo in a minute. Wow, you just opened the floodgates.
Massimo and K-Swiss.
Queso. Okay, yeah. See, yeah, I didn't have quesos. I had Massimo and Jinko. I was a skater.
There you go.
That was a super.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
so we got Deja, Adriana Dominguez, Luis Chenea. Who else? Who else do you think we should interview for the 99 time capsule?
99 capsule.
Trying to think who else you would have on there. You mentioned Felicia in one of your other podcasts.
Yes. Have you kept in touch with her?
I totally I lost contact with her, I think after elementary. I don't know did she go to Terrace Hills anymore?
She did. She was in Gifted and Talented with me and Sonia, and I think for all 3 years, and then in high school, she just disappeared.
Yeah, she was the sweetest girl. I remember her. She was probably like, I think the only birthday party my mom ever let me go to in elementary school, and I remember it was at her house, and she had a pool.
Oh, I don't remember
And
that.
she lived, I think, maybe like a block or two away from Dowell, so it was like right around the corner.
What?
Yes, and like, yeah, my mom never let me go anywhere.
No, I thought she lived on Kenworthy.
I think she moved after that, but from
Okay.
from elementary, I remember going to her
She went to
house,
Dowell?
like, right around the corner. Or maybe it was 6th grade or something, but I remember.
Oh man,
or
we
unless
gotta
I'm
get her
confusing
on.
her with someone else.
Oh
But
yeah, no,
yeah,
no,
if you
no.
ever get in contact with her, I'd love to know what she's up to. Her and Adina.
Yeah. Okay. So Sonia and Janae are on the case, and Sonia found out that Adina is a doctor in San Antonio for child, adolescent, and adult psychology. So she's a psychiatrist.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, she a baller.
Yeah,
out there.
because we knew each other from orchestra, and then she went off to Jeff, but we would still see each other at like the all region events. So I would still see her every, after, but then after high school, then that was it. I never saw her again. So
yeah, same here.
Yeah,
I saw
that
her once for an academic decathlon competition. We were in the Andrews High School gym, and I was walking because there was like it was A students, B students, and C students, and I stopped trying, but I was still pretty bright, so I was the C student. And I just remember walking through like, man, we're gonna get whooped. And then I just heard, oh hey, what's up, George? And I was like, oh shit, what's up, Adina Campbell? And then she was like, hey, what are you doing? It's like, oh, we just get whooped. Are you out here whooping us? And she's like, yeah, we out here whooping you guys. I was like, all right, cool. And then that was that. Henry says interview Robert Babington, Adina Campbell, Anthony Chen, and then he said Felicia was a bully. So he out here hating.
Well, she never bullied me.
Yeah, he out
Did
here
he say
hating.
Anthony Chen?
Yeah, and then I saw that Anthony Chen is in Austin.
I think he's in San Antonio, actually.
Oh, I
San
know he.
Antonio. Yes.
Let me see. He does a bunch of Austin. He's Austin, Texas. He worked at the Austin Opera, but he, I guess, started a business where he performs at weddings and stuff. So I guess he's rolling in all that.
That was my other arch nemesis when he came to Terrace Hills, because he was like all-star player, like, yes. And we would battle it out for first chair in middle school. And then I think we're a year or two older than him. So I had my little glory time, and then he showed up at Andrews again. Yeah. I remember Anthony Chen. I think he says there was a story I think he shared. I don't remember when he shared this, but I apparently like threw a chair at him at one point.
Damn, girl. Oh shit. Okay.
But Anthony Chen, yes, let me know when you do that one, because I would totally love to watch and see what he's up to.
That's that throwing a chair at a kid. That's almost like trauma from some asshole kid mooning you in the 4th grade. Damn, I'm so sorry.
It's the project chick in me, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Deja says she remembers rocking the Fila. So, man, all you kids with money. I was poor as fuck. Margie would get so serious while she played against Anthony. So Deja remembers that. That's so funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh shit. Louise says that we should interview some of our teachers that remember us 99 kids.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be super cool if we could get a hold of some.
Yeah, but if I did that, I wouldn't want to sit down face to face and then enjoy adult beverages with them, because it's just completely different when you're a 15-year-old kid and they're, 20, 30, and then, you revere them so much. But then now it's like, no, we're equals. We're enjoying this conversation with my friend Mr. Daniels. So yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Mr. Carcerano was one I remember from Andrus.
Oh
He
yeah.
was
Okay. So
the
anatomy teacher, yeah, and then his younger brother got a job and then became the speech and debate coach, and so we were really good friends with his brother Christopher. We called him Guido. That was his nickname. Yeah, Guido
Yep.
Carcerano. Oh my God. All right, good job, Luis. Good job, Deja, Sonia,
great
and
idea.
Enrique Irigoyen for all these great suggestions. All right, man, my ADHD is kicking in hyperdrive. So I'm gonna. Well, who's a hottie? Mr. Carcerano is a hottie, Deja. Mr. Curlis. Luis says Mr. Curlis. I remember. Did you have?
Yeah, Mr. Curlin. No,
Yeah, because he was
no.
balding.
My mom never let me take like any of the pre-AP classes or the AP classes.
Yeah.
She was like, "Why? You're gonna end up taking them in college anyway." So she never let, and I was a good, like I was top 10%. I remember this top 10%. My name was not in the program at graduation.
What? Why? They just forgot or what?
I think they put somebody else's name in my place.
Oh shit.
I remember that. But
Mickey Mouse, no. You son of a bitch.
left me off the graduation program. All right.
Oh,
All right.
no.
But I still graduated.
Yeah, no, Mr. Curlis, he was bald, and then one day he came and he had this hair piece, and it was just like, yo, dude, you're not fooling anyone.
No.
Yeah. But he was
Okay,
our
no.
he was our haiku coach, and I remember doing and I only remember doing haiku with Adriana Dominguez because I just saw the picture right now when I was rifling through the yearbook. So that's so funny. So I gotta scan that shit. Sonia out here WTFing, but there's a delay. What are you WTFing about? And then
There's like, what's happening in that chat? Now I want to go see.
oh, you didn't have it pulled up? Oh, my bad. You should have had it pulled up. My bad. Yeah, the chat is popping off. Margie Mendez.
Going up.
Yeah, true story. Mine and Margie's school ID numbers is off by one number. Oh, you and Deja had school ID off by one number?
I didn't remember that.
Oh, she don't remember.
Wow. No, I don't remember that. No.
Very strange. Oh, okay. I guess Sonia said that you not being in the graduation program was a WTF moment statement. Yeah, that's so crazy. Top 10% and not in there. Oh man, you know what? I bet Anthony Chen designed the program.
Probably.
He's like,
because I threw a chair at him. It's payback. I take your name off.
He's like, one last time. That's so funny. Oh man. All right. Well,
oh my God.
Thank you again for sitting down and having this chat. And in the summer, whenever we get our official reunion going on, you know what we're gonna call it? We're gonna call it the 20th. We're gonna call it the 20-year reunion. We're gonna do it, and then it's gonna be 22 years late because we don't give no fucks, because that's how we roll. And then you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to Denny's, and we're gonna fucking pay our tab, and we're gonna give them a 25% tip, and then we're gonna go find Mr. Ortega, and we're gonna punch him in the face. Is he the superintendent? I know he was for a bit, right?
He's retired, and actually he's long-term subbed as an administrator at Chapin for a little bit whenever we've had positions open. And he's run down, pobrecito. But I remember him a lot because he would actually go into the orchestra room whenever we were playing, and he would just sit there. It's like, I just like listening to you guys. And he loved us. He got us brand new lockers because we had those wooden cabinets that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That had been there for ages. He put a big old mural in the orchestra room and for us. He would go to our contests. He would go to our concerts. And I got to see him a few times when he was long-term subbing at Chapin. I was like, you were super supportive, and I appreciate that. So thank you.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Deja was laughing. Because I said we're going to go punch Bobby in the face, but we're not.
No, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Oh, no, and that's what I wanted to say. ADHD, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so Mr. Shore, he took you out to fly kites so he could smoke. That's why.
Oh, he smoked.
Probably.
Yeah.
Now that putting those two together, it was his smoke break. But where was the rest of the class is what I want to know.
Well, what probably happened was that Miss Happy probably had her door next to his, And so he's like, Hazel, just
Oh.
watch my class. And so she came out and watched both.
So she came out.
No, we were in opposite ends. Miss Happy was on the last hallway closest to rushing, and then Mr. Shore was on the opposite side, facing like the little park that was right across from Dowell
Okay.
in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So we were.
I got
used
into
to
a
have to
fight
walk
there.
at the park.
Yeah, at the park. What's that?
Do you remember when we had a picnic? It was like an end of year picnic.
No.
And they took us to the park, and we had like water balloons and we had water guns.
And I mean, that sounds great and sounds familiar,
Sounds
but
great,
no, I
but-
don't remember. I just remember
I'm gonna-
all the kids surrounding us, and then I just remember stalling
And then I
just long enough for the administration to get there and break us up. And I was like, oh,
You
thank
do.
God. I think it was Jason Johnson. Because funny story, we were at the jungle gyms, and then we were trying to play keep away, I think, with one of his GI Joes, and I couldn't throw, obviously. So when I tried to throw it over his head, it hit him in the face, and then he got livid. He was trying to catch me to beat me up, but I was so quick that I got into the jungle gym and like shimmied all the way to the top, and he couldn't catch me. And he's like, after school, I'm gonna get you. And then so we all walked out there like gentlemen. The whole school was around us chanting. And then I don't know, I was like warming up or something. I don't know what I was doing. I was like stretching, and I was like, all right, here we go. Let's do this. And then I just, like I said, I waited long enough just for like Mr. Nardone, and I forget who the Mrs. Boyd, I think it was. Yeah, you remember? And then so yeah, they came out. They're like, break it up. And I was like, oh, thank God. And then we got suspended, like in school suspension. I remember him. We were both sitting in there, and he just kept looking at me. But then he never said round two. So I got lucky.
Interesting. Yeah, no. I don't think I ever got into a fight. I don't remember.
You just out there breaking hearts and shit.
Breaking mine? What are you talking about?
Oh no, those silly boys. Deja said that Bobby Ortega used to be her neighbor. The fuck?
Interesting.
Yeah, we definitely got to talk about that on her episode. We'll figure it out, Deja, because Deja and I actually grew up in the same apartment complex. There was like a little field that we used to go play in, and she lived in the apartment facing that. And it's so funny too, because my brother and I used to climb the trees to get the Nerf balls and stuff out of there, and we would climb super quickly and then get back down, and then so they all called us monkey, and it was just a thing. But then I didn't realize like that's a derogatory term for little black kids, and so I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Like, now I'm suspicious, but at the time it made absolute sense. Like I was monkey, he was monkey junior.
Oh no. Terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah. So we'll figure that shit out.
That would not play right now.
Oh no, 100% no. This woke PC cancel culture, but oh shit.
Apartments. I remember my mom. My mom was the orchestra mom, and she would always like we'd always pick up Deja for rehearsals, or if it was either my mom or my dad, like they would always be the ones taking us everywhere. So I remember picking her up at those apartments, the ones right off of Trans Mountain, right?
Yeah, Trans Mountain and Autobahn. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember those days. So I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll definitely tag you in that episode. But well, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. And I say us for all the people in chat. Thank you for joining Margarita Mendez. Do you have a middle name?
I do not.
Oh, just Margarita Mendez. Thank you for joining us in this great conversation. A stroll down memory lane, talking about Dowell, the Dowell Owls, the Terrace Hills Trojans, and the Andress Eagles, and the UTEP Miners, and El Paso Sun City. Thank you very much for all the love and support, and for all the great memories, and the yearbooks, and then all the yearbook photos. And then I'm gonna scan them, and then Mickey Mouse. Thank you very much, Epcot Center. We appreciate everything. Stick around for a second. I'm gonna end this stream, and then I'll say bye properly. Okay, is that cool? All right, cool. All right, see everybody. Bye bye. Okay, bye bye.